Winning the lottery sounds like a dream: instant riches, luxury, and a life without worries. But for most winners, that dream quickly turns into a nightmare. In fact, studies show that nearly 70% of lottery winners end up broke or worse. In this video, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind the so-called lottery curse, from overnight millionaires to heartbreaking downfalls. And trust me, the story of what happened to one winner will leave you stunned. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Because when it comes to money, sometimes the biggest jackpots come with the biggest risks. The psychological shock of sudden wealth. When someone wins the lottery, their brain isn't prepared for the massive shift in reality. Sudden wealth syndrome is a real psychological condition that affects people who acquire large amounts of money quickly. The human mind evolved to handle gradual changes, not instant transformations from financial struggle to multi-million-dollar wealth. Winners often experience anxiety, depression, and decision paralysis because they lack the mental framework to process their new reality. This psychological shock leads to poor decision-making right from the start, setting the stage for financial disaster. Lack of financial education and planning. Most lottery winners have never managed large sums of money before. They don't understand investment strategies, tax implications, or wealth preservation techniques that rich families pass down through generations. Without proper financial education, winners make devastating mistakes like not setting aside money for taxes, failing to diversify investments, or not understanding the difference between gross and net winnings. They treat their winnings like an endless resource, rather than a finite amount that needs careful management to last a lifetime. The predator problem. Everyone wants a piece. The moment someone wins the lottery, they become a target. Long-lost relatives emerge from nowhere with sob stories and business proposals. Financial advisors, investment managers, and entrepreneurs circle like vultures, promising incredible returns on obviously fraudulent schemes. Winners often can't distinguish between legitimate advisors and predators because they lack the experience to recognize red flags. Many lose millions to Ponzi schemes, fake investment opportunities, and smooth-talking con artists who specifically target lottery winners. Lifestyle inflation and impulse spending. Lottery winners often go from budgeting every dollar to believing money is unlimited. They buy multiple mansions, expensive cars, boats, and luxury items they don't need. This lifestyle inflation happens gradually but consistently, creating enormous monthly expenses that eat away at their winnings. A winner might spend $50,000 a month on their new lifestyle, not realizing that even $100 million won't last forever at that burn rate. They fail to distinguish between having money and having income, treating their winnings like a salary rather than a one-time windfall. Family and relationship destruction. Money changes relationships in devastating ways. Family members feel entitled to the winner's wealth, creating resentment and conflict when their demands aren't met. Marriages crumble under the pressure of sudden wealth, with spouses having different visions for how the money should be used. Children become spoiled and lose motivation to work or achieve anything on their own. Friends treat winners differently, either becoming resentful or overly accommodating in hopes of financial gain. The isolation and relationship destruction that follows often leads winners to make poor financial decisions in desperate attempts to reconnect with people. The tax trap. Underestimating government claims. Many winners don't realize that their winnings will be heavily taxed. Federal taxes can take up to 37% of winnings, and state taxes can add another significant chunk. A $100 million jackpot might only net $50 to $60 million after taxes, but winners often spend as if they have the full amount. They also don't understand ongoing tax obligations on investments and property, leading to tax debt that compounds over time. Some winners end up owing more in taxes than they have in liquid assets, forcing them to sell investments at bad times or borrow money at high interest rates. Bad investments and business ventures. Without investment experience, lottery winners often fall for get-rich-quick schemes that promise to multiply their wealth. They invest in restaurants, nightclubs, real estate developments, and startup companies without understanding the risks involved. Many start their own businesses in industries they know nothing about, burning through millions on failed ventures. They'd also tend to invest emotionally rather than analytically, putting money into projects that appeal to them personally rather than those with solid business fundamentals. The comparison trap and keeping up appearances. Winners often try to live like generational wealthy families, without understanding that those families have systems, education, and ongoing income streams that support their lifestyle. They compare themselves to celebrities and business moguls who have teams of financial professionals managing their wealth. This leads to unsustainable spending as they try to maintain appearances and social status. They host expensive parties, give lavish gifts, and make grand gestures that drain their resources quickly while providing little long-term value. Addiction and escapism behaviors. The stress and isolation that comes with sudden wealth often leads winners to develop addictions as coping mechanisms. Gambling addiction is particularly common among lottery winners, as they become convinced they have a special ability to beat odds. Some develop drinking problems, drug addictions, or shopping addictions that burn through their money while destroying their health and relationships. These addictive behaviors are often enabled by their wealth, making it harder for friends and family to intervene effectively. The generational wealth illusion. Many lottery winners, professional athletes, and sudden millionaires enter their new reality believing their windfall will secure their family's future for generations. On the surface, this seems logical. A fortune worth tens or even hundreds of millions should last indefinitely. But in practice, the story often unfolds very differently. Most winners lack an understanding of what it truly means to build generational wealth, the kind of wealth that is intentionally structured, carefully protected, and strategically invested to endure beyond a single lifetime. Instead of creating long-term stability, many winners distribute large sums of money to children, grandchildren, and extended family members with few or no conditions attached. While this generosity often comes from love, it unintentionally fosters financial dependency. Younger family members may come to expect handouts rather than learning the discipline of earning, saving, and investing for themselves. Over time, what was meant as a blessing turns into a source of entitlement and irresponsibility. A major mistake is the failure to establish trusts, family foundations, or other wealth preservation vehicles. From sudden fortune to sudden failure, the lottery curse proves that money alone doesn't guarantee happiness. Which story shocked you the most? Or do you believe the curse is real? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive into unbelievable money stories, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who dreams of hitting the jackpot. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and never stop questioning the price of fortune.